with, sorry, told you I was going to choke in the beginning. It was my first time.
No worries, man.
Anyways, try it again. So we are live. We're Go Figure Podcast, episode 34. And today we have with us Mr. Urban Spider.
Hi.
That was late. So long. And Mr. The Eternal Experience.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yes, and finally me, Mr. Philly Bunny Shit Ninja Shark. I can't even say my own name right, see? Philly Bunny Ninja Shark. I hate my name sometimes.
So yeah.
Sorry, my screen turned off. That's my first time. Okay. We're having some technical difficulties because I wasn't prepared.
No worries, man.
Shh.
Are you ready, though?
I'm sorry. Anyway, now that we're going to continue, because now I am prepared. Hey guys, now that we're part of the RLU, RawLivePod.com, you can listen to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or the listening platform of your choice. Remember to follow along with YouTube. If they go fig hot or not, we're going to try something new today. For a chance to be featured, or maybe roasted.
Cool. So, tonight we have Michael Wisman with us. He's our guest. How are you doing, man?
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, glad to have you. So we usually start the first part with an interview section, but before we get to the interview, just for the people that don't know who you are, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. So, Go Figure podcast. This is all about like the ACPA and figure side of things that I do. But I'm 25. I live in Southern California. I've been collecting like my whole life, and I've been doing ACPA for about, the end of 2012. So that means at the end of this year, that's like 5 years then.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And that's pretty much the gist of it. My name is all of my stuff. So just search, my name, Michael Wisman, and I should pop up on YouTube, Instagram, all that. And then you can just get a feel for what I do.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Adam?
All right. So how did all of this start? Like, how did you get into photography of your toys?
It was okay. I'm trying to think back to like the beginning. So like 2011 and 2012. I don't even remember what kind of sparked it, but I was looking into customs, like Craig Warwick's customs at the time in particular, and he had a blog. And I think from there I ended up finding his YouTube, and then from his YouTube I saw like Boog's old videos and Shartimus's videos, and it just kind of was like the rabbit hole, like once you start looking at one thing, all of a sudden you just spiraled out 12 hours later on the internet. And so then from there for about a year I just lurked. Like I didn't actually post anything. I wasn't even part of the group. I was just like outside watching. And then like the end of 2012, I joined the group, and I didn't have a camera, and I didn't know anything about photography. I just had my cell phone, and I had a bunch of friends that were photographers, ironically. So I asked them for help. So technically the very first setup picture that I ever did, I had my friend Deontay helping me. He came over, like I set everything up and called him like, dude, come over, bring your camera. And then when he got there, he's like, what is this? And I was trying to explain it to him, so he was down for it. So we were both taking shots and doing setups. But after that, he left, and I didn't have anything, so I ended up just borrowing a shitty little camera from my girlfriend at the time, and the rest is history.
Cool.
Nice. What got you into collecting?
Oh man, that's 90s kids super into action figures. 80s kids like to claim that they're all about action figures, but they had, they were the test subjects with the He-Man and the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the 80s action figures weren't too great.
Yeah, it was the 90s, I think, when things took the next step. So of course, like when I was little, all the animated shows were going on. So the X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four. I don't know if I said Iron Man yet, but there is inevitable. Just if you grew up in that time, that you were into that. Like it was before even like Game Boys and that kind of stuff really took off. Like there was a Super Nintendo and stuff, but kids still played with toys. So, I mean, there's no way to avoid it. And I was always been into superheroes and comics and stuff. But I actually stopped like collecting like for a long time because I didn't know about like this bigger community and like the things that people did. So I just collected them as toys at the time. And it was around that time in like 2011 when I was checking stuff out online that I realized like what how do I put this? I get like what collecting had become. Like it was no longer just buying toys to either play with them or save them like a collector mint on card. But
Yeah.
now like you could do something. Like there was a purpose. Like you could go buy a figure in a store and there was a purpose and an art form that you could participate in. So that really kicked me in the ass. And I mean, I still had like all my old stuff from a kid and like from when Marvel Legends first came out and the Spider-Man classics. I had all that. So I tried jumping in, but then at the time that was when Marvel Legends like was doing that the comeback, like 2012, I think, when they had the Terrax wave and then the Arnim Zola wave. So it was like the perfect storm. Like right when I was like getting back into it, that stuff was dropping and it was like a sign like, oh yeah, time to go hard. But ever since then, it's just been a pounding, man. Especially like the last maybe 2 or 3 years, Marvel Legends have been on fire, just cranking them out. And it's not easy on the wallet to be a Marvel Legends collector.
I hear that completely.
Yeah. So, what inspires you to create such awesome content and taking those awesome pictures?
Oh, thanks, man. Everything. It's just because I'm always so immersed. Like I'm always watching a show or a movie or reading a comic. I finally had to like bite the bullet and do some digital stuff just because like the amount of comics I read. So I have a lot of digital comics that I read through now. I finally figured out how to put them on like an iPad. My wife has this old iPad that she doesn't use, so I can load the comics on there and actually like swipe the screen.
Yeah.
Because reading comics on a computer is actually not that fun, and I get why a lot of people don't like doing that. But if you have something to hold, it makes it easier. So like I'll always be into something, and then it just pops up. Like today, I don't know if anybody saw, but I did that tribute picture for Joan Lee.
Yeah, I saw it. It was beautiful.
Thank you. That was really, it was just off the top of my head. I just had some stuff laying around, but it was partially inspired by like Spider-Man Blue. If anyone hasn't read that comic, I highly recommend it. It's one of my top favorite Spider-Man comics. And just, no spoilers, but just one of the premises of that comic is like Peter Parker listening to recordings of like himself and Gwen Stacy and just thinking back. So I thought that'd be an interesting take. So I looked up the interview with Joan Lee, and I just like I listened through the whole thing, and I wrote down like my favorite parts, and then I just kind of did the picture around that. Like what
Yeah.
if, you know, he had a recording, but it was on Herbie because the Fantastic Four like kicked it off for him.
Yeah.
So that's like an example. Like I'll have like a small notion. Like even if a picture comes out good and people like it, it's usually still not what I had in mind. Like when you're drawing, same thing. Like whatever's in your head isn't usually what ends up getting drawn, but it's like close enough.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, definitely. Adam.
So do you have any tips for people that are just getting into ACBA, like that helped you when you were first starting?
Yeah, well, not like when they helped me when I first started, because when I first joined the group, it was mean. Like it was really mean. I didn't know anybody. Nobody knew me, and so I had no like cushy, like, oh, here's a nice environment. Like it used to be a small group of guys, and they would just tear you up. Like if your stuff was weak and whack, they'd let you know. I mean, a lot of my friends in the community that I'm real tight with today, uh, you know, would give me shit every single day. When I would post. So I think nowadays it's a lot easier for people to jump in. It's a lot, you know, it's a friendly environment, very welcoming. You know, people usually give you the benefit of the doubt. Like if your first picture sucks, or people will jump in to help you. But really, I would say like the main thing is it's kind of like, how do I phrase this? It's kind of like when someone's graduating high school and they're going to college, and the whole point is like to decide what you want to be, and so you kind of focus on one type of area. I think you need that kind of drive in this community. Is like you need to like it enough to pursue it for yourself. So like even though you'll have people help you and give you feedback, I think you need the drive to like Google things, to look up stuff, to go down that rabbit hole. Like I said, like on YouTube, instead of just watching like one video thinking that that's gonna teach you everything you need to know, like have that desire to want to watch more, to learn more, because the resources are there. Like there's so many people doing it now, and so many tutorials and tips and tricks and shows like this podcast. A lot of people do vlogs and stuff. So everything that I could say is already out there. It's just people need to track it down, you know?
Yeah.
And to be more specific, like a piece of advice I could leave anyone listening with, if your setup needs you to explain it to someone, then fundamentally you need to go back and rework something. And I think that is the first hurdle that people need to get over when they first start posting. And you can see it all the time, because until you've done like toy photography, people are just used to playing with their toys. Like you would put two toys together and make up the story. So you give the context yourself. And so people don't quite understand that. So their first couple pictures will just be nothing. It's like two characters, you know, standing there doing nothing, and the scene makes no sense, and people are like, "What's going on here?" And then the person will, you know, they'll respond this cute, like they'll type out a book for you of what's happening, and they just don't understand. Like we, as a viewer, don't see that. Like, don't tell, show. So show what you want to convey in your picture instead of relying on like putting a whole wall of text in your description.
I can't stand that.
Yeah. And of course we have a bunch of people who are want to be screenplay writers, I guess, because they just go hard with their backstories and those captions, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That leads me to another thing too, is watch out for this if you're doing this a lot. If you post up a picture and then let's say you have like 3 characters in it, and then in your caption is just like a quote from each character. Like if they had like Batman, Robin, and Joker in just a white background, but in the description they put Batman, "We've got you now, Joker." Robin, "Yeah, we've got you." Joker, "No, you don't." Like if you're going that far to like put words in every single character's mouth, you're compensating for the lack of showing that in the display.
Yeah.
So just I'm not trying to talk shit or anything on people that do that. What I'm saying is, if you know that you do that, maybe step back for a second and think, well, why am I doing that? What could I be doing different where I don't need to do that?
Yeah. Like cutouts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like that that hashtag, the say it with cutouts.
Yeah. So
So are there any projects we could be expecting from you in the future?
Oh, dude, if you could only see, if you guys were all in my house right now, it's just endless projects. And it's just, will that get finished or not? Maybe. But, I mean, my whole house is just covered in stuff. I like to give a shout out to the most patient wife in the world for putting up with all this. But yeah, I mean, let me just look around, see what I got right now. I still want to take some pictures with the homecoming figures. I haven't really broken those in yet. I got them late, so
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Spider-Gwen. I got some stuff with that. Oh, here we go. Perfect example. I'm working on an Invincible custom that I've been working on for like a year because I never finished it.
Oh,
but
I can't wait to see that because I love Invincible.
Hell yeah, man. Tell them. People don't listen. I tell them, read Invincible. They read like the first 2 issues and they're like, I don't know, man. I'm like, come on.
You're not giving it a shot by only reading the first 2 issues.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. You need at least like at least a trade or 2. Because Robert Kirkman, like when I got into Invincible was when I started reading the Walking Dead comics at the same time. And at the time, both of them had been out for a while, so I could really jump into them. And I learned that like Robert Kirkman, his writing style is best in the long run. So like if you haven't ever read the Walking Dead comics, it now is even better than when it started, because now you can pick up like a compendium, like a thick ass book, and read it all the way through, and his writing is a lot smoother in big chunks. But like, so when you just get a single issue, it's kind of frustrating because a lot of times it feels like maybe something's not happening or it's just a weird pace. But really, I think it's because Kirkman just plays the long game.
Yeah, you should like binge read it.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna hurt still though. Like when you're done, you're gonna binge it all in like a week, and then at the end of the week, you're not gonna know what to do because you just gotta go on the slow burn for the next issue. And it's never enough, you know. The next issue comes up, and you're like, "All right, let's get some story," and it's never enough, forever. And you torture yourself, and you wonder, "Why am I in this lifestyle? Who hurt me as a child that made me run to these things?"
Yeah. So going back to the interview bit, are there any other artists that you really like on, in ACPA or Instagram?
Hell no. No, I'm kidding. Of course, man. Of course. I was like, because like I said before, I didn't know how to do photography stuff or anything or like setups. And so I ended up liking a lot of the guys who would help me out, like their work, because like Kirby Pags, he doesn't post a lot, but he's still like active in the community. But he used to post like every day, and he was one of the first people to give me feedback. So it made me like look at his work a little bit more. Like when someone gives me feedback, like good feedback, it makes me assume they know what they're talking about. So I want to see what they're doing. And at the time, Kirby had like a picture of Superman like busting through a wall, and there was rubble like floated, or not floating, but like him, breaking through. And I was like, oh my God, how did you do that? And he was showing me how he just put needles like in the foam.
Sorry.
And kept it all together. Oh, yeah. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, and I had never seen that before, like using the needles to hold stuff. Nowadays it's pretty common, but back then, you know, I was like, whoa. And just so many of the guys that were just, I'm so thankful because after years of, you know, doing stuff, you end up making like friends. But like Slings a Web, when he used to do behind the scenes with slings, I think that's what it was. And he would show, like, at the time, people weren't making dioramas or anything. But Slings had a bunch of alleyways from these walls that he had gotten at Lowe's, and it was like a clearance sale. I never found those walls. Like, to this day, I've never seen them. Like, they're like these little pre-made walls. But I just loved watching stuff like that and just learning so much. One of my all-time favorites, though, for sure, is Jay Riv. Real quiet guy, but his posts are so like fucking cool because it's like he has his own little world, and then every time he takes a picture, you're not seeing a picture of a setup. He's just kind of giving you a window to what's going on in his world this week. And I just love that. Yeah, you can always tell, like, with a lot of people, their style, and like Jay, when he posts a picture, you know it's him. And he has like his rundown alleys, and he's got the, you know, he's the one that made the curler head lady, and everybody, I don't want to say bit that because, you know, it's like Jay's cool. Like, I made a curler head lady when he did it, and I was like, hey man, is it cool if I, you know, use that recipe that's so fucking tight? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So he's real cool about sharing stuff. But he's the one that started the curler head lady and like all the junkies like getting chased down by Batman. And yeah, it's crazy. Like his dial, like today, actually, no, he just made a new diorama. I was about to say, like, some of his dioramas are a little bit dated, but they still work because it just has this atmosphere to it.
Oh, so that's the guy that made the like, it was like 2 days ago, the shot with like Batman on an apartment, like a really cool dial.
Yeah, and they were like looking at trash or something.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's really good.
Oh yeah, he's really quiet though, so that's why sometimes, like, I'm surprised he doesn't have more like people following him and talking about his stuff. It's a lot of like the people who've been around for a while who, you know, see his stuff like all the time. Like if you know, you're just on the page all the time, and but he really deserves a lot more attention because he just has this world. Like, there's this picture he did of a junkyard, and he had built like a full-out junkyard with smashed cars, and he had like the Mezco Dark Knight like walking through the junkyard, getting away from these junkyard dogs. And at the time, like, no one had done that. Like, that's what's so cool, but so like tricky about ACPA is it's always like, what has someone not thought of, and how can you figure that out? And it's always the littlest things. Like, you'll know, like, someone will post a picture and it'll just blow up because people will be like, oh my God, I never thought of that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things, like, when you see a picture, you know it's gonna blow up. Like, it's, you know it because you just see it and you know it, you know, like, because of the details and stuff. So yeah, next question.
Is there any sort of media that you're obsessed with, like, other than comics, since I'm pretty sure everyone knows that you love comics?
Like, do you mean like shows and movies and
music, or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything, man. It's kind of a treacherous mindset, but you know, the old saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none." So I got my fingers in everything, but I'm not a master in any of it. So yeah, of course, I'm heavy into comic books, heavy into like TV shows, movies, anime, and then manga. Not so much unless I really liked the anime. Then I'll go read the book. But I used to be a lot more heavier into manga, but it's just like it seems like lately, it's a lot of it's like very similar, like just the kind of atmosphere that's going on. So I just reserve my time for like something I know is going to be worth it. Like right now, I don't know if you guys have seen My Hero Academia.
Hell yeah, I'm obsessed with it right now.
Right. So I was of course late like everyone else, like when season 2 was dropping. So I decided to watch it, and honestly I watched like the first 2 seasons, and I was like, it was okay. It was okay, but I just couldn't like shake this feeling. Like I was walking around just thinking about it, even though not thinking at the time it was like the greatest. And so I decided like, I'll just check out the book and see how far ahead it is. And the book is fucking way, way far ahead of the show right now. And I burned through that in like less than a week. It was like 140 chapters at the time.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I burned through all that. And then I think now there's like 144 chapters for the main manga. There's 2 spin-offs, but the main one is 144 chapters. And right now the anime has covered about like 40 or 45 chapters. So it's like 100 more. So more than twice what the anime's covered is still to get covered, and more is coming out. So I've been really into that. And then after I read the manga, it was a wrap, man. Like that show is so good, or it's gonna be so good. Like when they adapt stuff. Like actually tomorrow is a new episode. Season 2 picks back up after the tournament. Or well, it's not a tournament, but the sports festival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be so dope. And yeah, it's just if anyone hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. And it's one of those things that's just gonna click with you. Like it has all the right elements. It's kind of like like One Punch Man and Sky High and Tiger and Bunny all like wrapped into one.
Yeah.
And I was watching an interview with the creator of it, and he is heavy into figures. He has a tiny like apartment, and it's completely packed with Hot Toys and Marvel Legends and Marvel Select.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that dude is like all about it. I've been trying to get his attention. Like I tag him on Instagram and on Twitter with like the My Hero Academia pics, but nothing yet. We're just casting out the line and hoping we get a bite.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been really into heavy. My Hero Academia, and then waiting for like some shows to pick back up, like Game of Thrones. And do you guys watch The Strain?
No.
No, I don't think I would. No.
Ooh, if you guys like vampire stuff, definitely check it out. And I'm not sure if he like directs all of it or if he just kind of like started it, but it was created by Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I know which show you're talking about. Yeah, I need to check that out.
Yeah, I think it airs on FX. Which makes it kind of sound like, oh well, is it really that good? But it really is. Like, especially I think in season 2 is when it like gets real crazy. And I want to say that the next season coming out is season 4. That might be wrong, but I know a lot of people are still sleeping on that show, and it is actually really good. It's kind of like Blade 2, but without Blade. So like, I know that kind of sounds weird, but like
good thing depending how you felt about the second movie.
Right. So it's like if there wasn't a Blade, but people had to deal with like the type of shit that was going on in Blade 2, like that as a TV show, and it's really good.
Cool.
Just don't, the main kid actor, he sucks. So forget that. But everybody else is dope. It has like the villain from Ant-Man. The yellow jacket guy. He's like one of the main characters in it.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's got like that Del Toro like monster stuff, like how Pan's Labyrinth, like that kind of look. All the effects in the show are like crazy like that.
Cool. Are they like are they do like tangible makeup and stuff like Guillermo del Toro always does, or?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
is it
they
CG?
like they have a lot of CG for like their tongue things that like shoot out, but
Yeah.
like their makeup is all practical. And like the older vampires, like the big like actual monster type ones, they CG a lot of the movement, but they have actual props and actors for like the keyframes of it. So they'll have someone on set doing stuff, and then they just kind of augment it with the CG. But it is like heavy practical effects and makeup, and it helps a lot.
Yeah,
like
ACPA them shits.
Right, like those vampires are not like classic vampires. They're like like Blade 2 vampires, like Nomak, like those type of shits.
They're
like,
not the type of vampires to sparkle.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm so glad we're like beyond that phase now, you know? Like vampires are starting to be like savage again.
Yeah.
And cool.
Yeah. It was a rough spot. At the time too, when Twilight was coming out, I had a girlfriend at the time who was fucking one of those people, dude, like dragging me to the midnight things with all the people in line at the mall for Twilight. And oh man. I saw almost all those movies like at midnight premieres, and I don't like any of them. Like even now, like I rewatched some of them, and I just don't like them at all. It's not
They're horrible movies.
I haven't even watched any of them.
Yeah, don't waste your time, man. Go check out The Strain instead. That's better time spent.
Yeah, for sure. I need to check that out. So, next question, Fibbins.
So, what would your overall favorite franchise be?
Ooh, just for like all types of things wrapped into one.
Across everything, yeah. If you had to choose.
If I was on an island and I could only have stuff from one franchise for the rest of my life, I would have to pick Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, like sometimes I'll get caught up in other stuff like My Hero Academia or just, you know, whatever I have going on, and I'm like deep into that, but always come back to Spider-Man, like always. So even though I'd probably get sad on my island, I would always be okay eventually with Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the best.
Spider-Man is amazing.
Somebody might be a little biased, so.
I am a little biased. I mean, my username is Urban Spidey, so it's kind of
tight. Yeah, that's why I'm tired today, because I was supposed to see Spider-Man last night, and then I didn't make it in time. So I was like, I'll just stay up, and then I'll go to the show in the morning. And so I did, but then afterwards I was all fucked up, so I tried to take a nap, and luckily my wife woke me up on time. She's like, oh, it's almost time for the podcast, get up.
Cool.
But I did see it today.
Oh, awesome. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on the episode. But going back to the choosing stuff, if you could only purchase from one toy manufacturer, who would it be?
Ooh. Does that like, so since we're talking about the manufacturer, that includes like all their lines, right? Not just the one.
Yeah.
Ooh. I guess for like sheer volume and like the possibilities of doing almost whatever you want, probably Hasbro. Because even though they're not like the best, they're like one of the biggest, you know? So you could do all kinds of stuff. But for like, if I wasn't trying to fill my house with shit and I just wanted nice stuff, probably SH Figure Arts.
Yeah. That is a common answer here on the show.
Yeah. I wish every time I see an import come out, I'm a little sad because I just like in the back of my mind, I wonder if, you know, what if SH Figure Arts had gotten that license? Like, how much better would it have been?
Oh yeah.
Especially like
I'm a Figure Arts fanboy.
Well,
no shame, man.
I don't mind if other companies get the license and Figure Arts Bandai also gets the license, because that's usually when Bandai puts the most effort in.
Yeah, because they can have competition. Yeah.
It's sad that.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I was gonna say it's sad that like lately you can count on figure arts for the quality, but like Mafex has been beating them for the looks, but then the Mafex quality usually isn't so good.
Don't
Like,
get me
right.
started on Mafex, man.
Like
Yeah,
specifically.
I just had a Mafex break on me. So
Yeah, but that Mafex is how old?
it's like 2 years old, but still,
Yeah.
it's
Is there a shelf life on Mafex?
Yeah, kind of actually.
Open by.
Yeah, they're degradable. You know, that you can recycle them and shit.
Right. Sell by this date.
Expiration date.
But like the Spider-Man Homecoming figure, like I know the figure arts is gonna be like feel so much better, but the Mafex one looks a lot better this time around. So that's kind of a tough one.
I'm going with SHF.
I'll with SHF over Mafex because I can count on the SHF not to break.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Mafex does look good, but I don't know if I'm gonna. You know, I just don't trust them anymore. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Adam.
Do you have any hobbies outside of toy photography?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, technically, I guess like some of the stuff I've been talking about is a hobby. Like, I watch like a lot of movies. Again, now I have like a lot of them digitally, but I also have like 3 bookcases completely full of like Blu-rays and DVDs. Yeah, it's not like too impressive because most of that was like Black Friday, where I'd buy like 20 or 40 movies at a time, and then like not buy anything for the rest of the year. But actually, I was in a local newspaper, a couple years ago because I had the most movies in line at a Black Friday, so they came up to interview me.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
It was so great. I saved the clips. I don't have it with me, but I have it somewhere. But I saved it because like it was cool getting interviewed. But the dopest part was they interviewed my wife, and they used her for the ending of the article because like they have a part of me like talking all excited, like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here." Da 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 da. And at the end of the article, they put my wife's quote, which is like, "I'm just here for moral support, and I'm happy that it's over." Oh, it was fucking great. But yeah, movies. I love movies. Comic books. I collect a lot of comics. I try to do mostly digital and graphic novels these days, but I still do get a couple titles like on my pull list at my comic shop. Like Invincible, of course. I read Invincible online the day it drops, and then I still go to the store and buy it and like read it at home.
Nice.
I also, I draw, I paint. What else?
You customize, right?
Yeah, but I meant like painting, like on canvas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do customs and stuff, dioramas. I don't really like do too much commission type stuff these days. It's just too much. But like I'll do it for myself. I like drawing a lot. I went to school for art, like drawing and painting and stuff, but I just never ended up picking up like a career with that. I'm just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, not purposefully, but kind of like the stereotype, like, oh, that useless art degree. Like, it's not useless. I just never used it is all.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else is minor, little stuff like exercising, riding bikes, going. Like I live by the desert too, so like when it's not too hot, we can go hiking like up the mountains and stuff. And that's pretty fun.
That's cool. Do you ever plan on like taking outdoor shots, or you're just an indoor guy?
Oh, I've done lots of outdoor shots.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
I have it's not all the pictures I've taken, but it's like most of them. Like maybe like 80% of the pictures I've taken. I have them all in an album on my Facebook, and a lot of people like just because I feel like right now there's kind of like the last maybe year or so, there's been a new wave, like the next generation. And I feel like a lot of people know me nowadays for like the colorful, simple pictures that I do. But I've done like everything, man. I have like full dioramas, like just to get people's like mindset, like not the same. I'm not saying it's the same, but just similar. Like I've done shots similar to like Pharaoh Black and Paul Carter. He's the guy that does like the dinosaur shots outdoors all the time.
Yeah.
I've done it all, man. Like I said, jack of all trades, master of none. So I think people should check out my album on Facebook, not to toot my own horn or anything, but just to see like, oh, he's not just, talking out of his ass. He's actually been doing this for a while. And I think newer people just know me for my newer stuff is all. And because I haven't posted some of that older style stuff in a long time because I don't have any dioramas right now.
Oh, yeah, cool. So, wait. How did you find out about the whole ACPA scene, and how do you feel about it, like where it is now compared to where you got in, basically?
Well, so like I said before, it was kind of like the rabbit hole thing from following the customs and YouTube, and then from YouTube to Facebook. So that's how I found out about the art form, and then the actual group. And then the second part of your question was what do I think of it now?
Yeah, compared to when you started.
Okay, yeah. So I kind of touched on that too. Like when I started, it was like it's kind of like how a lot of guys in the plastic and paint group are now, where it's like a lot of collaboration and a lot of like on your desk type of stuff. Like, hey, what do you guys think of this that I'm working on? Like that's what it was at the beginning, because it was small enough that you knew everybody's name and you could just get feedback. But like I said, there was issues because at the time there was a lot of bad eggs in the community that hadn't been like weeded out yet over the years. And everyone in general was just a little bit meaner. There was like this whole thing of the positive feedback and constructive criticism and, giving everybody a chance. That was like a dedicated effort on ACPA's behalf as a brand to be like, look, we're, a lot of people think like, oh, it's an elitist thing or whatever. So here's a concentrated effort to show that's not true. It's just we're trying to help people better themselves. So there's been this real big push of friendliness, like there's still a lot of people who get butthurt because of egos, but I'm telling you, before it was a lot more cutthroat, and people would be like you'd post a picture and be genuinely like, hey guys, what can I, get feedback on? I'm really struggling with this, and people just be like, yo, you're just fucking whack. Those poses suck. What the fuck are you doing, dude? And those were some of like the biggest names now, and you're like, god damn. But if you survived, I mean, all the guys I know that keep posting since then are like the biggest names in the community now. Slings, Pharaoh Black, Boog, all kinds of stuff like that. Like they, were in the mix of it.
Yeah.
So it's better now. It's a lot nicer now. Again, I would recommend people joining now. It's good.
Cool. Good to know. So, do you have any tips for people that want to try out cutouts and stuff for the first time?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, because like your cutouts are pretty much perfect. Like if I had to choose like any person from the group who has the best cutouts, it's definitely you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I always direct people to my tutorials on YouTube. They're a little bit older now. They still work. Like if you follow the video, it'll work. I'm just saying it's like just some of the stuff I talk about is a little bit dated now because I think I made that in like 2013. But beyond that, like let's say someone ordered like a pack of cutouts from the ACPA store.
Yeah.
And they just like, so they have a cutout and they're like, man, I don't know what to do with this. It's not working for me. I think some fundamental things to keep in mind is make sure that like the construction of it is good, like that it's cleaned up, that you hit the edges with like marker or whatever, and make sure the construction is solid. So don't take your cutouts for granted. Like a lot of people think like, oh well, I have this really shitty cutout and I don't have anything else, so I'm just gonna use this. Like sometimes if it's really bad, it might be better not to have it and then to work on a better version of the cutout. But if once you have your cutouts down, the two things you want to keep in mind, or three things, is line it up parallel to the frames of your picture, not your display. So like a lot of people do like the Dutch angle where their shit's like super sideways, and they'll put the cutout like straight, like with the figure in real life. And then when you take the picture, the cutout's like, fucking,
whatever.
Yeah, turned sideways itself. And there's, again, people just not thinking about how are people going to read this? How is this going to look? So I think Boog has good advice when he says, make sure to look through your camera before you do stuff. Like look at your setup through your camera and see how it looks like and adjust there. So like make sure that the cutout is parallel to your picture, not your setup. And then that the tail, as long like the tail of the cutout is the little, the part that goes towards the mouth. Make sure that it's like pointing in a general direction of like the character or their like face. You don't want it to be too far away and like coming out of their shoulder, because then it just doesn't look right. But you also, like, I've seen dudes who are just straight up trying to put the tail like in the dude's mouth.
Yeah.
Like, they might as well like cut a hole and just stuff the cutout in the hole. Like that's a little too much. So as long as it's pointing in the right direction, you're good to go. It doesn't have to be like, he doesn't have to be eating it, and it doesn't have to be far away. And then the last thing, which I think a lot of people struggle with, is the lighting of a cutout. What I found, and it depends on the material you use, but what I found is like sometimes you get your cutout in the right position, and then the lighting's just making it look not so good. If you tilt it, how do I describe this? Like tilt it forward or back, like without turning it side to side, just tilting it towards the camera or away from the camera will help the light catch it. And just that little bit sometimes will make it look like I'll put a cutout up that has like a lot of big black letters, and it'll look all like fucked up from the light shining on it. And then you just tilt it slightly forward, and then all of a sudden it looks like not even real. Like it'll look like it was just digital or something, just because the way that the light's catching that black. Like, did you guys see the picture I did with Sandman where he's like, his face got fucked up and he's like saying ow?
Yeah.
Okay, that one, a lot of people were messaging me like, did you like, is that a real cutout? And I was like, yeah, for real, that's a real cutout. But in that picture in particular, the lighting made it look a lot like it just wasn't real. But if I had tilted it backwards, it would look like total shit. So sometimes that little tilt is the big difference.
Yeah, for sure. Adam?
So, what got you into comics? Like, I know you said you've been into comics forever, but like, what was it that just sparked that interest?
Well, I was tired of throwing away my money on drugs, and comics were more expensive and more addictive, so I decided to move on to that. No, I'm kidding. That's a old joke. If you don't want your kids to do drugs, get them hooked on comics. They'll be too poor to do drugs. Honestly, man, I don't know, because I just like was born at like the right time where it's just like I don't remember ever not being into superheroes, like having the toys. Like I think I always remember the toys from McDonald's. I want to say like 1992 or 1993. Actually, it might have been a little later. I don't remember. But the Spider-Man the animated series. McDonald's had toys for that, like little cars and stuff, but they had little Spider-Man figures, and those were some of my earliest superhero toys, and I still have them. Like I still have that Spider-Man toy from McDonald's, and I put it in a case. I should have tried taking an ACPA picture with that. But yeah, like my first comic though, I don't remember the first comic book I ever got or ever read because I just remember having them all the time. But I do remember the first comic book I bought for myself was at a 7-Eleven, and at the time 7-Elevens actually had like a dope comic book selection. They had like a whole fucking shelf of just comic books. And I remember at the time I wanted Spawn so bad, and my dad was just like, no. Like, and I was buying it. Like, it was my money. Like, I had done like chores and stuff to get the money, and he was still like, no. And so I ended up getting a Spider-Man comic, and it was John Romita Jr., which I actually don't really like his work, but, you know, he is iconic. And it was like an issue where Venom and Kraven were fighting in Central Park, and Spider-Man had to go break it up or something. Even to this day, I don't know what story that was a part of because it was just like didn't fit into anything. But that was the first comic I ever bought for myself. I don't have it anymore because I'm the oldest child, and I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers. So growing up, I lost a lot of stuff. And that comic, one day, just getting into the car, you know, one of my siblings stepped on it and ripped it in half by accident.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I don't have that issue anymore. But I don't know, man. I never was not into it. And like I said, I think the drive, like the passion that you have for something makes a difference because I was always seeking stuff out. Like I was the youngest kid going to the comic book store here. Because when I was a kid, we only had one comic book shop here, and then like the gas stations had like a couple comics. And I would go in there, and they never knew my name because I was too young. I didn't ever tell my name, but they knew me. Like, oh, there's that kid again. And I was like the only kid going in there dropping like $20 a week. Everyone else was like teenagers or in their early 20s. And I don't know, man. It just was in my fucking bones, you know?
Nice. It's and I know a lot of your shots are recreated from comics, so I can really tell that you have a passion for comics.
Yeah, I try not to do like 100% like panel for panel, but yeah, definitely like you can see like where I'm coming from on certain shots.
Mm-hmm. So those backgrounds that you use where the colors fade into another color, those are shiny. Like they have like a sort of shine to them, right?
Yeah, yes, those ones in particular that like, I don't know the brand, but those like 2 or 3 ones are very glossy.
So I've always wondered how you get such great lighting on the backgrounds and the figures while not having any light reflect off of the background.
Well, I send all my pictures to Korea for editing, and then they shoot back the finals to me with no gloss. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, really, again, it's just the lighting. It's just sometimes it's that angle. Like for what I've been doing recently. I'll tell you what I used to do and then what I do now. I used to sit by this giant window in my house that like faces the backyard, and it just gets like in the middle of the day, it just has the perfect even lighting in the room. So I would tape like the paper up on the wall, but not flat. Like I'd curve it, you know? So like some of it is on like the tabletop and some of it's on the wall, and it's at a curve. And that's how I did my shots for a long time. And I felt bad because people would always say, hey, what's your lighting? Can I see the seaside? This, and it's just the picture or the figure in the paper on a little what the fuck do you call those things? A vanity, like the little makeup things. My wife's little makeup table thing, and they're like, "Well, where's the lights?" I'm like, "Dude, it's the sun. Like, I don't know what to tell you." But recently, I actually been doing something different. I moved all my stuff into a spare room, and I like blacked out the room, like the window and everything, so it's always dark in the room. That way, I could put my own lights, and I don't ever have to worry about what time of day it is. Like right now, I could go in that room and I could do like a super bright shot or a super dark shot, and I don't have to worry, oh, what's it look like outside? Because before, my shots would be really like the colors would look really nice, but I was totally at the mercy of the time of day. Like I couldn't do those shots like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So now what I do is I just put up, actually to save my walls, I hung up some cork boards and I pin the papers to the cork board. That way I don't have to keep poking my walls. And so now that they're flat, without curving or natural sunlight, now it's very hard to light them, and how a lot of people struggle with that gloss. So what I did is, instead of having lights around the setup, where like normally you do like your setup and then you bring the lights in close, and like when people pull back for their seaside, you see like all the lights around the perimeter of the setup. I don't really do that anymore. I put lights around the room, so like I'm lighting the room first, and then as a side effect of that, it's lighting up the setup from like farther away. So my lights are not anywhere near the setup, and so I think that helps it without having the glare.
Yeah.
I will say though, it looks pretty ridiculous in person though, because there's like maybe 10 or 15 lights in there that are all mounted like on the ceiling and then around like the windows and stuff. So it looks like pretty crazy, but it works super good, because then I can just walk around and like turn on and off like which light I want on. So it's a work in progress, but it's been working good.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's like goals right there.
Yeah.
Trying.
So
I think the two questions I had were answered earlier.
Oh. Yeah, those are answered.
That's kind of funny.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
No, that's quite alright.
That's great, man. So yeah, now we where can we find you, man? Social media, like plug yourself shamelessly now.
I have, so it's just my name, Michael Wisman, and then I think right now I just have Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
You should definitely check out his YouTube if you're just starting with ACPA, because he helps you a lot with cutouts.
Yeah, for sure. I have, again, for like people who were here before, I used to have like 20 more videos on my channel. I used to do like a little vlog, and but at the time I wasn't worried about copyright or anything, so it was all copyrighted to shit. So that's why I ended up deleting them. But I used to have like a ton of videos, and now like there's more people checking out the channel, but less videos. So they're kind of like they get directed to my channel, and there's a handful of stuff, and they're like, why do people recommend this guy? Like, there's not a lot here, but there was more. I swear, I had it all. But yeah, so, and then Instagram is just stuff that like maybe it's an alternate angle or something of a picture that I post on Facebook. So if you want to see like the most current stuff, just join like the ACBA group.
Yeah. So yeah, toys this week. That's the next part of the podcast.
Pickups. What did everyone get this week?
Pickups. Did you get anything, Michael, this week?
This week, yeah,
recently?
actually, yeah. I got I got the homecoming wave finally.
Cool.
I was holding out because I knew like since it was such a heavy movie wave, I knew it was gonna kind of be like abundant, so I waited, and I did get them a little bit cheaper, like $17 a figure, which is not like super cheap, but better than like 20 or 22 each.
Yeah.
So I have the whole homecoming wave. I want to do stuff with that. Then I've also been getting like can of beams effects lately.
Yeah, same here.
I remember a couple years ago when he used to do like hot glue and casted plastic effects for like Dragon Ball and Godzilla, and I could never like afford them or find them at the right time. But now, how he's been doing his stuff on eBay, like it's hard, but it's doable. Like if you're like there and ready to go, you can like snag stuff. But I do understand it's frustrating when his shit like sells out in a minute.
In
Or
seconds.
less.
So, but I've been getting those. So like this week I got, or I think like last week I got the Cyclops effects, the optic blasts, and then I got the week after, or okay, that was 2 weeks ago. Then the week after that I got the impact effects, like the blue punching ones.
Yeah.
And those are okay. I'm still trying to like tweak them for a shot. Not my favorite, but they're okay. And then this week, he redid the spider sense effects, so I got a couple of those, and those are awesome. I haven't used them yet.
Those are perfect, man. I really love them.
Hell yeah! I made sure to get a couple of each, the clear and then the colored one, just in case. But if like someone doesn't have any, I don't think you really need the clear one.
Yeah, the solid one is way better.
Yeah.
And when you hit it with light, it just really pops really nicely.
Yeah, it's surprising because like how it's like thin, acrylic or plastic, and it's real shiny. I thought like, oh, it'd be really hard to light these up, but they're not. They they look really good on camera.
Yeah, I love those. So yeah, any more stuff that you get this week?
I think just like supplemental stuff, like little props and random stuff, just fluff stuff. But those are like the big things.
Okay, cool. So Adam, did you get anything this week?
I got my first Mezco.
Oh yeah,
Mezco Zoom.
Nice.
It's more reverse flash than Zoom or Professor Zoom. But still, yeah, I really like it, and I'm not gonna take the cloth off, even though everyone's saying it looks terrible.
Gotta make him naked.
what?
You gotta make him naked.
No. I also got Makeup Amazing Spider-Man 2. And
Rip.
that was cool for a day, and then it broke. I didn't even get to take a picture of it.
Damn, it tanked as hard as the franchise.
Oh.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
So, Fivens, did you get anything this week?
Not this week, no.
Okay, so it's my turn then. I got Rebel Tech Spider-Wing. Pretty cool. I really love it. The figure's amazing. And I got a Mezco Flash. That's it.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, I know what I got. I got the concave Iron Man Mark 43.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I forgot about that because that figure is pretty cool. I'm surprised that the LEDs last so long and they're so bright. But yeah, that's
Is that new? The concave one? Is that the newer one that kind of looks like the modern comics look?
oh no. I think you're thinking about the
Sentinel one.
Sentinel.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I really want that one though.
Cool. So, I think that's it for pickups. But yeah, news this week. I don't think there's much going on, but there's something going on that I want to talk about real quick.
Oh.
Spider-Man: Homecoming. What do you guys think about it without any spoilers?
Best Spider-Man movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude,
What
you're gonna
about-
love at the end when no, I'm kidding.
Hey, guys.
Best scene.
And
So,
just a spoiler alert, Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
great joke.
You
So
know, you ruined it for somebody.
what did you think about it, Michael?
Well, I'm fresh off seeing it. I caught it this morning. I was real surprised too because last night the theater had I think like 5 or 6 showings, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have like 4 or 5. No, we have like 5 or 6 movie theaters in my area, and they were still all of them like sold out for Spider-Man last night.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's like 5 theaters with 5 showings. So it's like 25 screenings, all sold out. So then today I was like, oh, it'll be easy if I go in the morning. Dude, we got like the last 2 seats in the theater for the first showing. I was like,
Damn.
fuck. But yeah, it was good, man. I'd say like as an MCU movie, I give it like a 9 out of 10. But as like a standalone Spider-Man movie, I give it like a 7. It's definitely like it's heavily inspired by Ultimate Spider-Man comics, which are some of my favorite. But it's so interconnected with the MCU that I still think like Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus is like the quintessential like adult Spider-Man movie. But I could easily see like this being most people's #1 Spider-Man movie.
I actually really like Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
my favorite Spider-Man movie is the Spider-Man 3 where Peter Parker dances. That's the best movie ever. Said no one ever.
I honestly didn't think that Homecoming would be better than Spider-Man 2. Well, at least to me. But, like, yeah, it just, like, there was something about it. I don't know if it's because I'm, like, just fresh out of high school, so I understand a lot of his problems. But it was just something about Spider-Man Homecoming that I loved.
Yeah, it's so much fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, dope. I really, you know what? I really dig the Vulture. I'm not gonna get into it, because spoilers. But the Vulture's pretty badass, man.
Probably the best MCU villain.
Yeah, it's sad that his figure, like in the movie when people will go see it, like the way that he moves is really cool. Like the shit that he can do.
And the figure won't be able to do that at all.
No, like nothing, not even comparable. And
that's the thing.
Like, imagine if they did like a figure arts of Vulture.
That's what I've been saying.
Don't
Dude, that'd be fucking insane.
But the thing is, like, when you look at the trailers or the products or the figures of Vulture, you don't expect him to move the way that he moves in the like actual movie. And I think that's one of the coolest things about it, that the way he moves is just like kind of creepy,
Oh yeah. I mean, like Spider-Man can barely keep up, and that's saying a lot, like the way that he moves, and he can barely keep up with this dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Just an old guy in a wingsuit. And he's faster than Spider-Man.
A lot of people, were upset that the trailer showed so much, but I could say like you get a lot of bang for your buck. Like I feel like this movie had so much stuff in it, and in a good way. Not like it was too long or anything.
I think they did some specific cuts for the trailer that actually weren't even in the movie.
Yeah,
there's actually a bunch.
So it's like a red herring. Like you expect that you've seen it all on the trailer, but you really don't. Like the movie gives you a lot back.
And everyone thought that Tony Stark was going to be like a giant part of the movie, but he really wasn't in the movie very long.
Yeah, like no spoilers either, but it's cool that the way they did the story too is that every time like Iron Man has anything to do with the movie, because of the story, you kind of want him to show up at the moment, So at least for me, I never was like, oh God, here's Iron Man. Like the story made it to where like, oh God, I hope Iron Man shows up real quick or something.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have anything else, Adam, for toys this week, or can we wrap this up?
I think that's pretty much it. There's no like news or anything. Well, nothing too exciting.
Oh yeah, the what's it called? The Man Thing Build-A-Figure Wave dropped on eBay. The prices, you know, they were like not the greatest, but like if you wanted a figure of the Wave, you could get it today, basically. So that's something. I mean,
like $30, right?
$25.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
I was surprised because last time, usually when they go like that early, they're like $30, but you know it's a decent price, you know, and free shipping.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple still available, but the first one that sold out was Bullseye, which I couldn't get.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, and I wanted that one. That was like the top priority for me, but I couldn't get it. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for toys this week. Thank you, Michael, for joining the podcast. I'd like to remind the people listening to us that if you want to continue the podcast, the visual part, you can check out youtube.com/GoFigurePodcast, and there you can check out the visual part. But that's it for our guest tonight. Thank you, Michael, again for joining us. It was awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Sorry if I talk too much.
No, that's
Not
awesome.
at all, dude.
Perfect.
That's the point of the podcast. That's perfect, man. Thank you.
Yeah, but I get pretty philosophical sometimes, and like, people ask me a simple question, and I give them this big old deep thing, and like, dude, like that's too much.
Never too much.
All right, yeah, you guys got an awesome setup here, guys. You know, I'm glad to see you guys going strong with it and doing good. I always want to see the community doing well, especially it's refreshing to see nice guys succeed. Because sometimes a lot of like the big egos in the community overshadow up and coming people that are more deserving of the attention, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys just keep rocking and I'll keep watching.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Thank you.
For sure. All right. I'll catch you guys later then.
Okay, man. Good one.
Right.
Take it easy, man.
Okay, so now we get to the visual part of the podcast, which is awesome. So if you're listening to us on any of your favorite platforms, this is your cue. You can either go to YouTube and continue watching, or that's it. Hit the potato.
Hint. Go to YouTube.
So recent ACPA. Let's get to it.
So here's
We got some Michael Wisman here.
This shot is great.
Yeah, the way that he poses the figures is just like so natural.
Yeah.
That's why I really enjoy it.
You know what the best thing about this shot is? You can see him. Like, to me, it looks like he's trying to get ready to go out and be a superhero, and she's holding his mask over her ass. Like, no, you get in here.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going out superheroing. You're getting over here.
Yeah, that's like, you know what? That's crazy, man. You can tell the emotions and what's going on with each pose.
Mary Jane runs everything.
Yeah.
Deku.
I really love that shot.
Yeah, this is
Mainly because I'm obsessed.
Extremely biased.
You fanboy?
I'm fanboying right now, fangirling right now.
It's okay.
I should have
Actually, the show is really great. Films, you should check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Really watch it. Like, yeah, watch it.
Well, eventually, I got so much other shit to do, like take photos.
Yeah, you gotta watch Amazon's.
Yeah, whenever it comes to America.
No.
Amazon's.
Why would you do that? Why would you wait for it to come to America?
Because Amazon Prime said they're gonna have it. Anyway, back on topic. What you doing?
To me, that shot is really clever because that effect that he is using for Cyclops, that's from like one of those really cheap Superman figures, like the ones on the tiny little card packages.
Oh God!
Have like points of articulation.
Yeah,
That effects come from one of them, and it's so perfect, man. Like it works.
that is fucking great.
And I think he used the unmasked Peter Parker head. I'm not
Yeah,
sure,
it looks like it.
but yeah, that works really awesome for that shot specifically.
And then tons of people bit this.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's doing it now
Yeah.
with that effect. Then we got me.
That running pose, that looks too natural.
What?
Nothing.
I think Adam's trying to make fun of you.
Thank you for making fun of me. No, for reals, you think it sucks?
No.
Oh shit, yo.
Actually, you know what? Rhino doesn't look like he's looking at Peter.
Okay. He's running at him, so.
Yeah, he should be looking at Peter.
Not really. I mean, it's
he's
Rhino.
running at it. And
yeah, but he looks like he's like looking to the side.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can't get the head up more on the figure. It's impossible.
I understand, but like, whatever. His head just looks a little too much to the side. Anyways.
Okay. We already have our first victim.
Roasted.
And we got
so
this.
I don't want to say anything because I'm gonna get roasted. You talk. I'm not gonna
We got this fire shot by Eternal Experience, showing off the new Spider-Gwen.
I love the colors on this shot.
The lighting is perfect, especially on the hood, and like just the way the lighting just glistens on certain parts. Like it looks like a shot from the comic. Besides the fact you can see the joints.
Yeah, obviously.
And the pink in the background just matches the Spider-Gwen comics. So that's just like, I really like it.
Thanks. I really enjoyed taking that shot because that shot was way out of my comfort zone because like I had to poke a hole on the dial with a wire and shit, and I had the figure like on that wire. You know he has like all Rebel Techs have a hole on the back so you can plug the stand in.
Yeah.
I put it on there, but it wasn't secure, so she fell like 2 times, and it was from a really high place, so she could easily have broken a wrist joint or something. But like at the end of the day, like it was worth it, taking that shot.
Nice.
And the way that because at first, like I was really having a lot of trouble with the angle because you could see the stand, but the way I hit it like last minute, basically before I quit, because I was about to quit, but I just moved it around for a while, and then I got to that point, and like, man, I'm so proud of it now.
It's very good. I like.
Thanks.
And this good too, but not as good as the Spider-Gwen.
Instant kill mode activated.
Well, you just spoiled the movie. You just spoiled all the jokes in the movie. I can't believe you. Oh my god. All right.
Spoilers.
Fiborino.
Fibo. With the giant ass fucking Optimus. That's so cool.
Big boy Optimus.
That figure is dope. Where was that picture? Like outside at the beach or some shit?
No, that was on my deck, on my roof.
Oh, cool. That looks dope, man. Because like the way that the sky is like a little bit overexposed, it looks white. It looks.
Yeah.
To me, that looks awesome.
Thank you.
I don't know what's going on in there. I don't have any clue how you did that, but that looks amazing. I have no clue how you even did that, but that
was the background is actually that explosion effect. I think it's SNA Toys or something like that. I put a purple light bulb in the explosion and then hit it with an orange light bulb from the side.
That is amazing, man. And are you using something on front of the lens because it looks like smoke or something?
It probably blew smoke.
Oh, yeah. That looks great, man.
Seguidus.
Thank you.
That could easily be like a computer background or something.
It could be. That's cool.
I love that shot with that thingy. I don't know the name of the. I don't know the name of the.
The Scream.
The Scream, yeah.
Oh yeah, well. That looks creepy as hell, dude.
That was the idea.
Looks like this crackhead that's down the street.
It almost looks like the. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it.
I don't want to know what you're gonna say then.
The only thing you really can't see is that he's holding his hands up in the shape of a heart. It's really hard.
Oh
to
yeah,
yeah.
No, I noticed.
I saw that.
I noticed it. It was like a little cute touch.
Nice and cute. Fibbins is always with the cute stuff.
Yes, totally cute.
You guys ready for my picture?
Go ahead. Oh right.
No pictures.
Go figure, merch. Go
What's
get it.
funny is this isn't even new anymore.
Yeah, and there's like the old cast there.
Oh snap!
JK, I'm just kidding.
Snap.
Okay, go figure. I forgot to open up Instagram, so
Yeah, Fibbins, do you want to get like a little introduction of what we're going to do here now?
the way I typed Instagram.
I could try. Do we have anything written down?
No, just like off the top of your head, you
Why
know.
am I not logged in?
Oh, maybe.
Or do I say it?
I mean, we can take turns. No, that's weird. As we're waiting, as we're gonna watch, as we're gonna. What's your password? Oh, I don't know. I can't see. But as we're waiting for Urban Spider to log into Instagram as he is, we're going to try something new with this week's podcast. As we were making fun of Eternal before, we're going to check the GoFig podcast post and check to see what we've gotten for the past week, and either we're going to roast you or Eternal,
We're gonna feature you.
or at least attempt to.
Yeah, because these new sections called Go Fix Hot or Not.
So either your
Picture's
picture
hot.
is sexy or it's trash.
What?
Mind you, it's all in fun.
Yeah, friendly roast. It's not being
Friendly
personal.
roast using foul language. What?
Yeah, it's.
It's not like we're attacking you. We're just attacking your horrible attempt at taking. Okay, that's
This might not go over well, so
yeah.
Just keep in mind that it's not personal at all.
Yeah.
And we might even offer you some feedback too, so that's cool.
Yeah. So I want to start out with this Akira Joe picture. This is beautiful.
I think that's hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
it's pretty hot in my room.
I'd swipe right.
You'd swipe right. Wait, is it up or down? Would I swipe up or would I swipe down? I don't know this. I don't understand this.
What? You old people not understanding jokes.
Or killing them, but that is definitely hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
That is clean and that is hot.
The only thing I don't like is the cape.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
That's the thing.
That's not his fault. He tried to do. He did the best he could.
If you let me talk.
No, never.
I was about to say it's the figure's fault, not his. All right, what else we got? This is pretty clean, pretty simple.
Yeah, that's
It's the
Kind of boring though. I don't care that he's got 451 likes.
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, but it's not bad. Like I
It's
wouldn't say
simple.
it's not.
Yeah, it's just boring. I've seen it before so many times. Like it's a Spider-Man figure, and it's swimming. It's him swinging in a really close frame. Okay.
That's what literally I did last night.
The That's exactly what Jaime did. And we praised him for it.
But it was Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
So it was different.
It's drive. This is automatic.
So that's a nod from you, and that's a what from Adam on the Spidey one. You just
On the spy one, I say it's hot. I mean,
yeah, I would say hot
it's
as
simple,
well.
but it's clean. And this drive picture, it's automatically hot for me.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's pretty hot. If I had a complaint on it, is that he actually cut the top of his head.
Yeah.
But if he had pulled it in a little bit more, it would have been better. Or pulled it out a little bit more. It's just weird where it's sitting.
Yeah, but yes, the framing is weird, but I wouldn't say it's not hot. So it's like warm.
Lukewarm.
Here's this great Transformers shot by Akira Joe, and this is like one of the few times that Transformers pictures have actually been good.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely
actually this figure. All of the like junk that you would see like usually just hanging on the back, it's actually folded up inside of the torso, so it makes it.
That's a masterpiece one, right?
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, and I actually want that figure.
I honestly don't care about Michael Bay, but that picture is hot. Obviously, I really like it.
Very hot. How about you, Fibbo?
From what I can see, it looks pretty clean. I can see exactly what's going on. It's pretty well lit. I don't like that Hot Wheels car though.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I felt like that car is making the shot too cluttered there, but overall I like the shot.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that you can see the Hot Wheels car, but you can see the bumper on Bumblebee is way bigger, so it's out of scale,
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's hot for me.
It's still hot.
Oh, this is getting kind of hot over here.
You got Toy at Heat with little makeout sesh.
Yeah, but don't go over it. Just actually, do the thing. Hot or not.
Okay, no.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Toy at Heat.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I mean, it's just kind of the posing is off.
It's too stiff.
Well, I mean, you made a stiff joke.
I would say the angle.
Definitely stiff.
The angle and the actual clarity and lighting of the shot is good, but the actual posing kills it, automatically kills it.
Well, that's Black Series though. You can blame as much of that posing on him as much as the figures.
Trust me, bro. I've seen people like Simon Hale and other people do shit with Black Series that there's no excuse.
But I also have that Jin figure and she friggin' sucks.
Yeah, but see. That whatever his face is, Cassian, that leg is just.
Yeah, it's weird as hell. I don't know why it's forward like that, especially he's all in mad personal space.
Yeah, not for me. Not at all.
Yeah,
it's knee and crotch.
Next time, work at the posing, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Hot
as always.
The cutout looking clean as hell. The city is a cutout as well. I think Batman is a cutout as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a cutout.
Jeez, that's insane. That lighting on this suit too, definitely tried to make it. Tried to replicate the animated series with how they light the characters, and you always get that slight white gleam on the edges.
That's definitely a hot.
Brandon always does perfect stuff with the Batman Articulated series account. So, how about some potassium? Wow.
I'm sorry, Cameron. I love you, but that's a not for me.
That's a not. Sorry, bro. What is going on there?
They're doing the Forza thing.
No.
I mean, he did a whole bunch of panels with that, so.
Yeah, no.
All right, so.
No. Not hot.
Ugh.
Talking about
Now, if you had to choose between this and the toys at whatever it was, I forgot his name, dude, I'm sorry.
That one was way better.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Well, it looks.
Wait. We have a perfect example for what Michael Wisman told us earlier, that sometimes when you're starting out, that you're just playing with figures and you don't have like a solid concept, and you depend on the actual quoting. So let's read the quoting.
All right, I call being Sabine.
You're Sabine?
Okay, you're Sabine.
But which one's Sabine? There's no dignifier on the
Oh
text.
yeah, that's right.
The first one is, I think it's her.
The first one is Sabine, but like still, there's nothing showing who's saying what.
So what I would see this as, even though my brain would correct it, would that first line of text would be what's his name saying it to them for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the importance of the photo seems to be on him and him saying something to them, but that's not going on in the text.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even want to read it anymore, so that's not for me.
Yeah, it's not. It's a not.
That is not. I'm sorry, dude.
Okay.
More.
Count banana again.
Yep.
There's 7 of those. Just remember, because that one's 6 out of 7.
Oh, here we go. This is hot. This is really hot.
Hot asshole.
That is hot, and I don't mean like hot picture. It's a hot body.
Something wrong with you.
Hot.
That's some clean ass hobo.
Literally.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Shout out to Hobo, who almost broke his leg today. Hope he gets better soon.
Stop trying to break your legs.
Oh man, that's terrible. Okay.
I see you skipping out on shit.
Yeah.
That's a not. That guy sucks. Just kidding. That's hot as hell, dude. You can even see my comment. You can even see my comment right there. Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
So that's hot.
Feeling like
we gotta feature you now. I guess we gotta feature you now.
I guess so. Oh drat.
Okay, so the concept has been done like a million times now.
Yeah.
And this one specifically, I can see a lot of flaws on it. Like example, I don't know what the background is, but you can see a line in the middle of the picture. Like I don't know if you can see it.
That's definitely a seam of some sort.
That's some sort of seam, which obviously some points off there. The lighting, I wouldn't say it's bad, but the way that he used whatever he used is like it's not a line. It's like some dots.
Well, that's because of the light he used. He probably used an LED, and the camera just the speed differences didn't. The biggest issue I have is he has this red line that's a dollar line in some places. Whatever, I can get over that. But he's holding the thing in his hand that's attached to him. Get rid of that. He shouldn't be sitting there with it connected to his back, holding it if his red line zipping all over the place. Also, if you look at the red line, it's disconnected in a couple of points. Like he started a line and ended a line.
Yeah, I see that.
For next time, you should use like a better, because I see that the lighting is clean and the cropping and all.
Yeah.
So for next time, like get a solid, like a wallpaper or something that doesn't have that seam, and like use a laser pointer, dude.
Yeah.
No, I probably held something and pointed the light towards the camera and just moved it around. Just play with the settings.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah, that's definitely.
Also, try not to let go of the light and start and end lines in multiple spots because it's a little obvious.
Yeah. Not. Ooh, what's that picture right there? Oh,
Which one?
the double one.
Oh yeah, I went straight to the mock because I love mock.
You love cock? What?
What?
That to me looks hot.
Ha!
It's pretty hot.
It's pretty clean. Everything has a purpose. Nobody's just there just to be there.
That's the hot from me.
It's good.
Hot for me.
Hot for me. Oh.
Oh my god.
Some more clean ass hobo.
Hot. Easily.
Hot. Very hot.
If you guys haven't checked out Hobo yet, what are you doing with your life, dude?
Hobo's great toe.
We got a close-up shot of the kiss, man.
Oh man.
Is that the same guy though?
He's right to Glen Moose. Get that other thing.
That's the lighting and stuff is clean, but like it's like weirdly cropped, you know, like the framing is kind of weird, but overall, I don't think it's not hot, you know.
It's a sort of
warm.
It's a close crop. It looks kind of.
I think the pose is slightly.
Yeah, the arm is weird on that one.
Yeah.
But it's not like something that you could say it's not hot, but like it's also it's like in the middle.
Yeah.
Warm, I could say.
Not quite hot.
Not quite hot. That's perfect.
But not quite not.
Is the guy from the Kiss, is that the same dude?
I'm probably sure. Yeah.
It's actually that's an even better picture than the other one.
Well, because it's cropped and has all of the focus exactly where it wants you to look.
And you can see all the terrible paint apps.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like a Disney princess. Shut up.
What would you give that? A hot or not?
What is that face?
It's Snow White.
What?
Well, he's asking what that face is. It's Snow White. Look at it. It's a Disney princess.
It's bad.
I think it's not still.
Yeah, it's still not.
Close, but not there yet.
Yeah, wet better, but not hot.
Ooh, that's pretty hot.
I don't know.
Kira Joe.
Mm-hmm. I like this right here.
Because you like Iron Man, dude.
All the way back there, and it looks like he's in scale with everyone else.
Oh, cool.
That Thor looks cool. Look at him just kind of laying there, getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, because that Thor is trash.
Cap is looking at the floor, though. Well, I guess he's looking at Hulk.
Yeah, it looks like he's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
sort
works.
of.
So, what were we thinking? It's a hot from me.
That's a hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Here's Nick with Edgy Parker.
I mean, it's super simple, but
It's
clean.
simple, but of course the lighting's on point. Actually, I really like how the blue light makes it look like shading on the figure. Because
Yeah.
you know,
like the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
Hot. Fibbins.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure you're still here.
What about you skipped one day, the Gwen Stacy one?
Oh, that's pretty good.
The only thing that I kind of
What's that foot doing?
like. What?
What is that leg doing?
What?
Why is that leg so high?
Because it's a spider character.
It doesn't look right in the photo and the angle he picked. It looks like that leg is broken.
Yeah, the legs does look weird because the knee is on the side. But overall, my main gripe is not even the leg. My main gripe is she's supposed to be swinging, but the webbing is not attached to anything. But overall, like that's I would say that's like warm.
It's hot for me, other than the webbing.
It's not.
Wow.
I don't like the posing at all.
Well, that's who we're gonna have next week. So.
Oh well.
All right. So back to this one.
Some IS Doom.
Yeah, boy.
It kind of looks like Instagram had a field day with that one.
Yeah.
In which sense do you mean?
Oh, it like areas that look like they're trying to be sharp aren't that sharp. Like it's not. It doesn't look like it wasn't. It's not him. Like his shot looks like it was clean.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he wanted to be in focus was in focus, but IG's algorithm said, "Nah, yo."
Yeah, like it got overly compressed or something.
Yeah.
It probably got over compressed.
But that's not his fault though. So
No,
hot for me.
his shot, like you can see, like it's there.
Hot.
I really like what he did with the lightning effect, because like in the show he has like the electricity or whatever sort of light coming around his arm when he's I like that. It's hot.
What about you, Fibo?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yogurt one. You're skipping a lot of them.
Because I don't want to keep looking at the same people.
Clean.
Shit, yo.
It's clean. It's just... Oh, I can kind of see what they were going for. They had the red lips, and everything else is gray.
I could say hot.
It's more of a warm from me.
I'm with Adam.
I would say hot.
I would say you're by yourself. Oh shit.
Check out that DNA one, the DNA photography one, because he's been really improving lately.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one? I would say the what do you call it? The framing is way off.
Yeah, the framing is a little weird.
It's a little off.
And also,
definitely
they're not
need more light.
Yeah. But at least he's like making improvements, and you can see he's cropping the pictures way better than before.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually his stuff is like clean and stuff, but you can see that he has like a lot of dead space on top of it.
Yeah, right here.
But overall, like I think that guy's way awesome. Like he's really improving. Like when I first started following him, he had a lot of potential, and I can see it like improving every single day. And he posts like every day, I think, and that's really good, because like if you practice every single day, you're eventually gonna start getting way better and better. And I can see, and I can see this guy becoming really great.
Mm-hmm. Practice every day, and you'll get almost as good as me. No, I'm kidding. Oh wait, did we decide hot or not from this?
Oh,
it's a knot. It's a knot, but getting there.
Yeah. I think it's like a warm. Yeah.
Warm.
It's almost had it.
Almost had it. Here's Matt's pick. So
I really like those type of shots he's taking now.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, but
those are the damn toys.
What?
Yeah, those are the damn toys.
Yeah.
Those are 6-scale figures that kind of sort of look like certain types of people in Hollywood, based off of other types of people and things.
Oh, that's the line that has the weird Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. I would say that hot because like it's a white hot shot, so it's hot.
The only problem is up here. It gets kind of gray.
A little bit.
A little bit, but like overall, the
Actually,
way
all of it. If you look at all of the edges, look by the edge by where the white is. It's still not completely white.
yeah, but the way he
Right here,
plays
pretty
the
white.
props, the way he plays the props and stuff, I
Yeah.
dig it. I think it's hot.
It's hot. Other than the gray.
What do you think, Fibo?
Hot.
Hot as fuck.
Hot.
Hot.
Here's a good common banana picture.
Yeah, that's great.
That is a good common picture.
Hot.
Yo, bananas, more of this.
More of this, less Al.
Hey, Alex dope. I named him. But yeah, that's dope. I like it.
Yeah, it is cool.
Hot for me.
Hot.
Yeah, it's hot from everybody.
You know it's super hot if you got the Tokusatsu League.
Seal, yeah, if you have the Tokusatsu League seal of approval, you know you made it in this world.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, actually, this is framed a lot better. It's just the dead space up here.
Yeah, I like that.
Light, especially on that right there on Deadpool's friggin' flare effect. Like that needs so much more light.
Yeah.
But those are like small problems that he could easily tweak and get it right. Like for example, the cropping issue, he could totally fix that. And the lighting issue is also not hard because like the overall image, you could just light it up a little bit more and it would be better.
Yeah.
So DNA photography, keep grinding. You're doing great, man. But it's not from me that one. This one.
Not yet, but getting there, dude.
Yeah, same for me. So I'm gonna.
What is that? Yeah,
What
that's not instant.
Yeah,
those aren't even toys. I think.
None of this freaking in Michael Bay that shit here, okay?
Yep.
No top toy photos.
What?
Good
Top
toy photos.
Yeah.
Oh,
good photos, whatever the fuck it is.
Actually, you know what? I think these are.
They don't look like toys, dude. They look.
Oh,
like
because it's all fucking CG overlay.
I think this Jedi Starfighter is a toy, but I don't think this Slave One is.
That's weird though. Not.
Yeah, it's a not. But
It's 100% not.
Yeah. I just wanted to pick. Oh, whoa! This is cool.
Yeah, that's.
I just like it because it's Echo.
Yeah, that looks clean, but I cannot tell what is the background. Is that like a?
It looks like the street, but
Yeah. That's. I don't know. It looks cool, but I don't know if it's hot.
Yeah, it's like a
Warm, I would say. I don't know.
leaning more towards cool.
Yeah.
Fibbo.
What do you think, Fibbins?
It's kind of boring. Like it's a clean shot, but it's boring.
Yeah, but
Like I've seen it so many times.
Oh, here we go. This is cool.
yeah, that's dope.
Some more Doom.
Doom has been killing it on getting the hots.
I think like a lot of the times when he works on stuff, he'll post timeline stories. Like I love watching his timeline shit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get him on the show.
Yeah, we do.
You hear that, IS Doom?
If he even watches.
No. But I don't know. It's a hot, so maybe if that gets featured.
It's hot.
We've featured his work
featured him
before.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Here's some Akira Joe. I think the only thing that's off is the blurred cutout.
And the scale.
Yeah, weird.
The what?
The scale. Look at the tiny windows in the giant car.
Yeah, okay. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, but that I come across that myself a lot, and sometimes it's just really hard to get things to scale properly. But the bigger issue I have is that cutout. The cutout is distracting me from everything.
Yeah, I would say that's not from me.
However, no. I don't know if it's light piping.
Yeah, I think it's
his
light
eyes
piping.
Look really, really nice.
Yeah, I think it's light piping.
That's
because
cool.
Most masterpieces have great light piping. But yeah, like that's not from me. I'm sorry.
How about this?
Not.
What the?
Yeah, it's a not.
What?
I mean, I can see what he was thinking.
What?
Yeah, that's weird,
that,
man.
Is that Ant-Man? What is that on that?
Yeah, it's Ant-Man writing.
Can you zoom in on that?
I can't zoom in. But
no.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't even. Like, you got some work to do, dude. I don't even know what you're trying there.
Yeah.
So,
Bibbo.
Are we in
what is that Stormtrooper one? Wait, go up.
This?
Is that the same dude from earlier?
Yes.
Yep. This is for you, my love. Okay. Do I have to say it?
Do we have to say what?
It's not.
It's a nut.
That's a nut? What?
It's a nut. And we're back here.
Yeah, we're getting.
Whoa, what?
Whoa, that is kind of cool, man.
I want to know.
Pepsi, man.
Custom.
That's cool.
This is a custom.
That is cool.
God.
That is cool.
That's cool.
That is definitely a hot, yo.
Yeah, that's
Pepsi, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot. That's hot.
It's so fucking hot.
I like it.
That's almost cheating. It's so hot.
Because it's a meme, so it's automatically gonna get a hot.
That's not true. Don't tell people that.
What is that?
What is this?
What the?
What is this? Oh, I know.
Wow. He has
supposed to be like he's FaceTiming.
Yeah, I know, but that's why.
Yeah, that's weird.
And he has like 400 likes. What?
Oh, it has almost 500 likes.
What's wrong with you people?
That's not for me. Easy.
Yeah,
not.
That's definite.
And what's with the face on Thor? Is that edited or is that the real face?
I think that's edited. Like,
yeah, I think it's edited.
I think I don't even know.
With the face app or whatever.
But it's it's not good. So yeah, it's a not. So should we call it? Oh,
yeah, I think
hold up! I want to show this picture because this.
Oh, that's hot.
This deserves almost 500 likes. This is the kind of stuff that should be getting that amount of likes.
I like the way that he mixes different brands, and makes it work really nicely. And since we really don't have a decent Electra, he changed the head, and that to me looks really nice.
I honestly like the balance of everything. Like the Ghost Rider over there, like fills up that right space over there perfectly. The way you got the Spider-Man like flowing through the bullet that was coming through Punisher, which then makes you go from Spider-Man to look at Punisher, and then you wind up looking at everybody else back to Ghost Rider and back to the same thing again.
That is amazing. That's hot.
That's actually like what you're supposed to do with photos and pictures. Is you're supposed to make sure the eye is traveling all over the place, and he does a really good job of making us look at the entire image.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We definitely got to feature this.
Super hot.
All right, so should we call it there?
Yeah, I think we got. I think we're getting into the.
Oh
last
wait, no,
week's
I
stuff.
want. Okay, sorry, but yeah, this is good. I like this.
Yeah, Nick is great.
Yeah,
Nick, that's a different. That's crazy because that's like a lot of scales mixed in
Mhm.
together. The I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe the small little figurines are what's it called? Hero clicks. Yeah.
Nice.
Then we got SHF Ant-Man, and I believe that's the Marvel Legends cap.
it looks like the Marvel Legends cap.
And the perspective is just so on point. Then
Yeah.
that's hot.
And this effect is lit up nice.
Yeah, and whatever he used to get it up, like he covered it nicely with the captain's
Yeah.
body, which is that's hot. That's definitely
Yeah.
hot.
Very hot.
Hot.
All right.
So I think that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining us again. We had a great guest tonight, Michael Wisman. Go check his stuff out at Michael Wisman on everything, and make sure to check us out. Go Figure Podcast on everything as well. Yeah, Instagram.com/Go Figure Podcast, YouTube.com/Go Figure Podcast, and Facebook.com/Go Figure Podcast. Anything else you guys want to say before we hit the potato?
But just remember to use that hashtag for a chance to get roasted and/or featured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hot or not. This is the new thing. Hope you guys
Awesome.
liked it. And
Let it think. We're working the kinks out. We're getting used to it, so we might be a little more awkward for a little while longer.
yeah, today we started a little bit rough, but you just gotta remember that we're trying out a new format, so it got some kinks and stuff, but like we're getting there, and I appreciate everyone that's listening to us. And yeah, man. Anything else, Adam?
No?
So yeah, hit the potato.
Hit that potato.